Hi everyone, I'm immigration lawyer John Khosravi. Thank you for joining me today on the live Q&A that's every Monday through Friday, live on TikTok at Immigration Lawyer John. John is John. And on Wednesdays, we're on YouTube live at the JQK Law Firm YouTube page. Other days, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and the recording of this, which you may be watching, is posted on YouTube. And if you are watching there, please like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you get notifications. We do frequent videos, a lot, breaking down the entire immigration system in bits and pieces so you can digest that information and know what in the world is going on with all this craziness. I've also released the Ultimate Marriage Green Card ebook. It's free. Just go to marriageimmigrationlaw.com/ebook to download it. You won't get a better breakdown resource out there for this process. You'll find it there. You should consult with a lawyer afterwards, but it'll give you a good idea what's going on and how to judge the attorney that you're going to work with. See if they know what they're talking about and have some questions to ask them to see if they're qualified or not to help you in this process, and again, just help you catch any issues that may exist. We're going to get started in a second as people will trickle in and the questions start rolling. But as a reminder, this is purely educational only. It's not intended for individual legal advice. You should consult with the lawyer in private for that. Having said that, let's get it started. All right, thank you everyone on different platforms on YouTube, aka thanks for coming. Good morning to you too. Robin says, how is your day? I'm doing good today. Had a lot of stuff going on in the morning. Actually, my kid was up all night. And so it's been hard not having slept, but I don't know if you can tell, having kids, they'll do that to you. I need to get a better haircut too. But having said that, I finally fell asleep in the morning after being up because of my kid. And when I woke up, USCIS, as it has been on this administration, it just leveled a big punch in the face of immigration by issuing an updated policy manual. So USCIS has this policy manual that it updates, that breaks down how officers should adjudicate cases, how they can make decisions on cases. And you can find this on USCIS.gov's policy manual is there. And the update it did said this: certain processes in immigration, frankly all of them, like work permits and green cards, have aspects to them that are discretionary. That means it's up to the officer. Even if you check all the boxes, you have everything that you need to be able to get a certain benefit, work permission, green card, all that kind of stuff. Some parts of it are discretionary, up to the officer. And there was a reiteration of their power and a whole write-up explaining what this means. But at the end of the day, out of nowhere, because there's no issue with this problem of their discretion, they go and write up this whole section that says, remember, you may have all the qualifications to get a certain immigration benefit, but it's still up to our discretion, which makes it open-ended for officers to always be able to deny cases and just say it's discretion. And so all of a sudden, we never know, even for easy things, like if you file for a green card and you have a work permit application that goes with that, it could be up to their discretion to deny it. You might match up all the things for a green card, but there may be another discretion thing that the officer makes up based on how they read your situation that could be a denial. We don't know how this is going to look. We don't know how strict it's going to be, but it just goes to show that the bulldozing of the immigration system, the cannonball they're taking and knocking everything down in the immigration system continues on not only a day-to-day basis, but an hourly basis, because so many other decisions from the Board of Immigration Appeals are coming down that are messing with the immigration. So many decisions all over the place are happening. It's catastrophic for the immigration system. It's almost impossible for regular people to keep up. But that is some bad news that came out there that I wanted to share. So let's get started with questions. AKA on YouTube asks, how long does the USCIS look back at your financial income if you're able to sponsor your spouse? Well, you have to submit 3 years worth of tax return information. That's how they basically do it. But when they're looking at financial history, they're primarily looking at your income right now and how likely it is that you're going to make income in the future to support your spouse in your marriage case. So I have cases where people haven't made money. They've been going to school and they just graduated, got their first job, and that's been okay. Now, I have colleagues who say that's not okay. I've never had a problem showing people who just recently got a job, if we could show they have pay stubs, employer letter, that they're going to have this job. But it's a case-by-case basis. So you can't just think about this one issue and one aspect of the financial income. We got to look at the totality of the circumstances, because as I talked about earlier, it's a discretion thing. And they're going to judge you and say, well, is this person going to be able to support their family or not? And so you want to see a large number of things to be able to judge whether you're appropriate for the affidavit of support, and also new public charge rule as well. On TikTok, Nasher asks, keep the great work. Everyone should be welcome, and you're making this world better. Thank you so much, Nasher. I appreciate the kind words. Jiki says, what is this stream about? Well, as the title says, there's U.S. Immigration Q&A, and my title is Immigration Lawyer John. We're talking about immigration law, U.S. immigration law. All right, so we got a lot of people joining. Shoot out the questions. Maheen, thanks for sharing the law current. Invisible says, America will be great with immigrants. I agree with you. That's what I'm battling every day, and I'm so happy to have all you on board. It's great support. Thank you so much. Arabis says, I heard that some embassies started open. Is that true? Well, the Department of State has said that embassies will start reopening on July 15th, but will start reopening. So it's not clear what it is. But this morning, I went and checked out 10 or 15 different embassies to see what they're saying. Some said we're completely closing until many more months. Some said we'll do American services like citizenship or something like that. Some say we will do, we do not do immigrant, we're not going to do visas, but I have colleagues who got visas from those embassies. So what the website says and what they're actually doing are different. So the government, typical as they're doing under this administration, before too, this kind of bad information is consistent, but they say one thing, they do another. They say we're not open, but they're open, or they say we're open, but they're not open. Even the U.S. Embassy in Turkey said in some cases they're going to even issue visas without interviews. And they said this on Twitter for Mission Turkey. But I went to their website, couldn't find this information. And when the Trump administration came, they said they're not going to be doing stuff like that. So, you know, they say a lot of things, but we have no control over it. And just wait to see what happens. I had a client who got their K1 fiancé visa interview scheduled in New Zealand. That was good. A colleague said in Buenos Aires, Argentina, they just had an immigrant visa green card interview right there. Let's see, in Paris, colleagues have told me they got interviews there. In Spain. But it's all over the place. They may open up because of COVID-19. They may shut down too. So it's a really, it's up in the air situation. And then when it comes to timelines and when things are opening up, when interviews going to happen, you know, nobody really has the answers to stuff. We have no control over it. It's just kind of wait and see. On YouTube, Wilvin says, please, my case is ready to be scheduled for an interview. I'm leaving North Miami Beach. Please tell me something. Well, you don't really have a question. Please tell me something I don't know. And you just have to be patient. And when it happens, it happens. Unfortunately, there are delays involved. Okay, Baskin says, when U.S. immigration open for new students? Well, it never closed for new students, so I'm not sure what your question is. You just got to get a student visa, and some embassies may be open to do that. It depends on which country and embassy you're looking for. Paddock says, do you know anything about MVC documents? I mean, do you know anything about like driving a car? I mean, you got to be more specific. I don't understand what your question is. The National Visa Center is part of the process. On YouTube, Thinking says, I got married to a U.S. citizen. I'm in the United States. What are the forms for me to start working? Okay, so that's an excellent question. I have all the answers you need and the greatest ultimate marriage green card ebook there is. Just go to marriageimmigrationlaw.com/ebook and download the ebook. You'll get everything and more that you need to know to answer that particular exact kind of question. There's actually a chapter on it, probably around chapter 10. I can't remember what it is, where it talks about work permits. But there's a lot more information you have to know with that. So check out that book, and if you still want to talk more, just schedule a consultation with my office. Okay, Bassett says, when U.S. immigration open? We answered that. You answered that. Ask that again. You're welcome, Thinking. Jay Molina says, any idea when they start process green cards? You know, they're doing it, so I don't have any specific answer for that. It's just these timelines and the ideas, who knows? Are you expensive? Yes. That's easy right there. Now, expensive, for some people I'm expensive, some people it's cheap. It really depends on how much money you have. And if you're asking if it's expensive, it probably is expensive. But for some it's not, for some it is. Just schedule a consultation and see. Alish says, thank you for your stream. We really love your information we get from you. You're welcome, Alish. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Please share it. You know, that comment comes on TikTok. And, you know, I use TikTok for the live feature. I stopped posting on a daily basis for the most part. And I've just been too busy to use any social media. So yeah, last night I went and started watching, you know, videos on YouTube, and everyone's doing videos on, I'm not YouTube, on TikTok, and everyone's doing TikTok videos saying, listen, goodbye TikTok, I know US is gonna ban it, please everyone follow me on Instagram, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, wow, everyone's leaving, so I gotta do one of these too. So if you are watching on TikTok, please follow me on my other links, and you should be able to, you know, follow this kind of stuff if TikTok does go away for some reason. On YouTube, JK Law Firm is the best place, but you know, on Instagram, JK Law Firm, Facebook, and all that kind of stuff. Gadi says, beautician for my mom, and tomorrow it's her interview. I'm a U.S. citizen. A beautician for my mom. You mean, I think you said I applied for, your question is not clear. I'm not sure what you mean by beautician in the middle of that sentence. Teluk says, I got a 10-year green card through my spouse and we got separated after 1 month. He threatens of complaining. You got to talk to an attorney to see what you can do. Sometimes relationships don't work out. It's not good that you broke up after a month, but maybe you could document it and show that this was a real relationship. It's just situations popped up that were like that. Guy says, I had a hard time getting my citizenship. Can they ask me questions about my citizenship? Probably not, but they could do whatever they want to do, so they might. You never know what happens, especially under this administration. Let's switch it off to YouTube. Wilden says, when we answer that, when will immigration reopen? I don't know. They are already reopened in many cases. Actually, just had a client go to their naturalization interview today, was approved, and 3 hours later did their oath ceremony, and they're a U.S. citizen. I just got a K1 I-129F form, the initial petition for a fiancé visa approved yesterday, and I got an I-130 petition, spouse of a U.S. citizen petition for USCIS approved the day before. So these things are happening. I just filed a re-entry permit application today, and so these are happening. FISA says, how long the process to file for adjustment of status? It varies on different cases. And AK had a question there too. AK, sorry, YouTube makes chat is horrible. When will they update the timelines for USCIS website? I don't ask USCIS. With timelines, just guys gotta be realistic. The questions you're asking, to me, it sounds like, when is COVID-19 gonna end? And it's like, what do you want me to say? So when you ask these timeline questions, imagine like someone keeps asking you, when is COVID-19 gonna end? I'm like, I don't know. And it's so, COVID-19 is so intertwined with USCIS, plus President Trump and his minions, what they're doing. It's not possible to answer these questions. User 194 says, is there any liability on providing sponsor letter from friend's mother? Friend is a U.S. citizen. I don't know. It depends on what you mean by sponsor letter. If you're doing joint sponsorship or someone else, I got to see what you're doing to be able to answer. I need to see exactly what you're doing. Isa Jun says, I got my appointment to Juarez interview a week before they shut down. Oh, that sucks. So Ciudad Juarez is the U.S. embassy that handles green cards in Mexico, and they're so backed up. It'll take a year just to get an interview after your documents are qualified for an interview. And so this poor person, E. Sajun, got the interview and then they canceled it and now it's getting backed up. Oh, what a horrible situation. I'm sorry you have to go through that. Mine says on TikTok, I'm waiting for my green card interview in Australia. Any idea when they resume services? I don't know, go ask them. Prob says, dear sir, still waiting for a social security number 95 days after I got work permit. What do I have to know? Help me. Who called the social security office? Yasmin says, I am sponsoring for my stepkid and I'm getting divorced from him. I'm still responsible. I'm a sponsor for my stepkid. If you signed an I-864, you're still responsible until the requirements for the I-864 end. If you go to my YouTube page, JK Law Firm, I did a video on what the responsibilities of an I-864 affidavit of support sponsor. I could catch you there or schedule a consultation. We could talk about what's going on there. Yasmin says, from them even, I'm getting divorced from her father. Yeah, if you already submitted, it's approved, then yeah. We had a question here on YouTube. Come on. Okay, Ahmad says, is MVC processing F4 applications? The MVC is processing documents, and they never stop processing documents. So that's that. So there you go. I got a text. Is it yes from yeah? This is from this. So I wouldn't they're processing. When you're gonna have an interview for it, I can't tell you. Is there any responsibility for? We already answered that. Or I didn't answer that. Applied for my drama fund says applied for my extension for a B1, B2. That's a tourist visa. A person was here for tourism. No answer except receipt letter. So I will be illegal or wait. So when you submit an extension request for a B1, B2 status while you're in the United States, you're a tourist from overseas. You enter with a B1 or B2, typically a B2 visa. They let you in. Typically they give you 108 days. You could file an extension if you wanted to. That's Form I-539. Once you file Form I-539 and you're in the system, you're in a period of authorized stay. So you won't accumulate what's called unlawful presence days. And that goes, unlawful presence days, if you accumulate enough of those and leave the United States later, you get a ban towards coming in for a set amount of years. However, when the case is pending, you're in an authorized period of stay that allows you to stay without accruing unlawful presence days. but you're still illegal. You still have you haven't violated your status. They have this special circumstance you're in where if they want to, they can come still and pick you up and kick you out. But because you have a case pending, they don't hassle you unless you usually get like criminal history and stuff. They can do it, but they don't usually bother doing that until a decision is made on your case. If it's denied, then they may come after you and knock at your door. They can do it before if they want to. So Immigration Department has a lot of power in this situation, but they don't enforce it as a policy until a decision is made. So if you have an extension request for tourist visa pending, I wouldn't really worry about it until a decision is made. And hopefully you could leave before even a decision is made anyway, so it just cleans it up right there. But all it does when you file it is you're in a period of authorized stay, which means you're not accumulating unlawful presence days if the case is properly filed. And it's kind of a technical thing. It's kind of hard for people to understand because there's a lot more legal stuff going on involved in that. But that's the basic of it. I wouldn't be afraid of being illegal or something like that if you submitted the case, got a receipt, and it's pending. AKA on YouTube asks, is the public charge, can I have an effect on my spouse who is a housewife? Yes, it can. That can. Fiza says, do you tell me when USC Embassy open? I can't tell you. I'm not in charge of US Embassy Pakistan. Please contact them and they can tell you. Ali Shom says, can you give us info on K1s? We are just waiting for the interview and Lebanon case approved already. Well, just your I-129F initial case approved. If you haven't even done your interview, your case has not been approved. Your visa has not been approved, let's say. But any information, I don't know what to tell you. You just got to do your interview. I need to watch your case, give you case-specific advice if that's needed. Let me twist the YouTube camera a little bit to see me better. All right, user 19 says, is there any liability on providing sponsorship to a friend's mother? I don't know, it depends on what kind of sponsorship and documents you're signing. I need more specifics on that. You asked that already. You're welcome, Basiat Khan. Let's see, Patel says, because I've accidentally put household member, but I add joint sponsor, how can we remove household? Withdraw the household number, if that's it. I don't really know. I have to see what's going on with your paperwork. That's too case specific. Any idea when Juarez will open? No, ask Juarez, don't ask me. Let's see, user 19 says, there any liability? Stop asking the same question or I'll block you. Maheen says, any idea of embassy opening in Australia? People ask the same questions. My father applied for my sister and her husband in 2008, but I still didn't receive interview call. I don't know, I gotta see what actually happened. Your case might have been denied and you didn't even hear about it if you moved addresses. I don't really know. Muna says, how long it takes? It depends. Are you $10,000 expensive? You know, East Sidron, there's a lot of different case types and a lot of different issues that people have. And that's why I need to do a consultation for you to know how much things cost. $10,000 and above is usually for investor visas and my fees. If you're doing an E2 investor visa, an L1, an EB5. There is a family type case where a waiver is required, which if I did waivers, they'll come up to that, but I don't handle waivers, so most likely not. But then again, it depends. If you're coming, you want a green card for you, family for you, your spouse, and 4 kids, it could add up. And you gotta keep in mind there's filing fees as well. So if you really want to schedule a consultation, just email me. That's a better way to look at it, and you can take it from there. If you guys can, complain to YouTube about how bad their communication stuff is. Okay, let's see. Muna says, my father is a U.S. citizen. Okay. Telu says, it's a real relationship when we also have kid and brought home together. When these questions jump around, I lose track of what's going on, but if it's that detailed, we gotta tell me information, that goes into things being too case specific, and so I need to schedule a private consultation to talk about that. When the world is gonna end, for real. Who knows, yeah. And COVID-19 will end in 2005, we're screwed. User 95 said, I applied for a green card after K1 visa. My status shows they're ready for interview, but no interview coming. How long? Go to my YouTube page, JK Law Firm, and answer this specific question. The answer is there is no answer to your question, but find the explanation on YouTube at JQK Law Firm. This specific question you asked is answered in a video there. Could we apply for DACA initially? So DACA is deferred action for childhood arrivals. These are people who got the initial came as kids and overstayed, that kind of stuff. They get a work permit by applying for DACA. Trump tried to get rid of it. Supreme Court said not yet. You have to redo your request for that. What from the Supreme Court says, yes, new cases should be submitted, but the administration has not given us guidance on how that is. One colleague who submitted it soon after the Supreme Court decision had their case rejected and returned for DACA. but from people who work on Supreme Court cases, they say you have to wait 25 days after the Supreme Court makes its decision for it to become certified. And the 25th day, I think, hit yesterday or the day before yesterday. So we have colleagues that are submitting now. If those get rejected, there's going to be a class action probably that happens, a class action lawsuit against the administration for improperly handling these kind of cases. So can we apply for DACA initially? I think legally, yes. But practically, I don't know yet. It's not clear because this administration is playing hardball. We'll have to see how that's going to work. And DACA is one of those things that's discretionary. So at the beginning of the show today, I talked about USCIS updating its policy manual to remind everybody that a lot of benefits that they give are discretionary. And DACA is one of those discretionary things. So, you know, it just made it more difficult, even if you can do DACA, if you have certain background that they don't like, they can still deny it. So be careful for that kind of stuff. Consult with an attorney. That's a long answer. That say there's no answer yet. Province says, I applied for asylum, but I received my confirmation letter, but still not fingerprint interview. Well, fingerprinting is shut down because of COVID-19. Interview, you'll just have to wait. It could be a couple months, could be a couple years to get that interview. Jad says, does getting unemployment benefits in this pandemic, will they deny green card in the future? It depends. I mean, how are you getting unemployment benefits if you don't have a green card? If you have a work permit, what is your work permit based on? So there's more information we need to know to look at the whole picture to say if it will be a problem or not. Gadib says, what is I-797 approval is blank. You know, it has a blank there, I can't see it, but an I-797 is just the name of a form of the paper that the government sends when they're communicating with you. So when you say I-797, that just means USCIS contacted you with something. An approval means, well, your case is approved at that step of your case. Now, I don't know what kind of application or petition you submitted, so I don't really know what's going on with that, but that's the base, that's what the meaning of that is, something that you submitted, got approved. Ali says, my brother passed the citizen test last July 2019. Well, congrats. Until now, no ceremony. What do you think we should do? Well, if it's been that long, you should have filed a lawsuit like 6 months ago. So you should complain to them and maybe file a lawsuit and maybe look at your brother's background and see if there's some sort of security stuff that's keeping that case from being approved. Let me see. Okay. AK says, can a U.S. citizen get deported? No, a U.S. citizen can't get deported, but what will happen is if the problem, the reason for deportation happened before they became a citizen, but that person didn't reveal it in their citizenship application, they could denaturalize you and then kick you out and deport you from the country. For example, there's this one doctor, I think it was in Michigan, who was a cancer doctor, who was a horrible human being. Before he got his citizenship, anyone who came to his office, he would tell him, you have cancer. And once he told him he had cancer, he would go through chemotherapy and charge the government all this money for health insurance and all that kind of stuff. He became a millionaire from it. Eventually, the nurses went to the police or whoever and said, hey, this guy is telling people they have cancer, so you can do surgery on them to get money from them, and he's killing people too. So they found this out, put him in jail, but they in the citizenship application, Form N-400, there's a question that asks, have you ever done anything illegal which you have not been caught for? So did you ever do anything illegal that didn't catch you? And so he said no. But after he became a citizen, and then they found out about this situation, they said, hey, wait a minute, you are committing these illegal acts before you got your citizenship. And so you lied on your citizenship application when you said, I haven't done anything illegal that I haven't been caught for. And so in that case, they denaturalized them. And so he's in jail right now. Once he gets out of jail, he's going to go to immigration court, and he's going to be deported back to the home country that he's from. Unless, you know, some situation prevents that, but that's what's probably going to happen. So for citizen to be deported, a naturalized citizen potentially can be denaturalized and then deported as possible. It's happening more under Trump because they made a special agency just for that. Domain says, are they accepting DACA applications? I answered that in detail moments ago. Drama Fund says, because my I-94 finished in July and it's been already 1 month that I applied for I-539 tourist visa extension. I don't know what the rest of your question is, but if you applied in time before it expired, then just wait, and that's that. Harit says, work outside. Sorry, I'm backed up on questions right now, so I'm not sure what's going on. Hi, what does case completion time mean? It means how long it takes for the case to be complete. Let's see. Numuna says, thank you, you're welcome. Gurpreet says, how to get certified name search. I'm not sure what a certified name search is. You might mean certified police certificate? I don't know. There's no certified name search that I know of in immigration. Andrew says, hey lawyer, thank you for your content. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, please follow us on YouTube, JK Law Firm. Follow us on Instagram, JK Law Firm. We have a lot of different kinds of material there as well, especially if TikTok goes away. Good to have you there. And on YouTube says, Al Muhammad, my wife is a green card holder. My wife is a green card holder. She has applied for me I-130. I live in Pakistan, now London. Does it take? Well, you missed the word how. It says how long does it take? Or just say does it take, but I don't have an answer for how long it takes. Just gotta be patient. Okay, so don't mind us says thank you, you're welcome. Harman says thank you, you're welcome as well. Very nice people here. Well, if you guys really like my work, I'd appreciate it if you just put in JQK Law Firm or John Khosravi. My Google profile come up. Leave some 5-star reviews for me. It'd be great. Having more reviews on all this stuff is really helpful. So yeah, if you had some time, just shoot a 5-star review on my Google profile for the JQK Immigration Law Firm. Now, this is hi, good to see you. Good to see you again, Nazir. Let's see. Sheikh says, hi sir, my EAD was expired in February 2020. I applied for renewal in June. Is it too late? Well, Sheikh, I don't know. It depends on what kind of EAD you have and what you're doing. I don't know. I need to know more about your case to tell you if it's too late or too soon or what's going on. Harma says, sure will do. Thank you so much. Any support we get, the better. You know, the more cases I get, the more time I can hire an assistant and do more videos to talk to you guys. But, you know, we're actually nearing the end of the show. We got a couple minutes left. So if you have some last questions to throw in there, let me know. Tomorrow we're going to be on Instagram, JQK Law Firm, and we're going to talk there. We're going to have a continuous flow of videos coming nonetheless. And on YouTube, and then clips of those on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, everywhere you can go. We're gonna have clips, and I'm creating a video development team to have some really cutting edge videos coming up that really break it down. And the more of this team stuff I have, because I used to edit my own videos, so I had no time. But I'm gonna create some more ebooks that will go and explain all this kind of stuff. Whether you have extraordinary ability cases, whether you're doing, I don't know, even asylum eventually, I'll probably do a book on that too. But everything, so we have the information you need to make a decision that's helpful and take things to the future. Hari says, can an F1 OPT, STNDT, I'm not sure what that is, work outside job location without amendment as OFC office work form? Your question has too many initials and stuff. I can't really figure out what you're saying. But for F1 OPT, you always have to notify your school of whatever you're doing and let them know and update them and get their okay first. If you do anything other than that, you probably are violating your OPT status, so you don't want to mess around and ruin that and get you in trouble. Now it says, I will do it, you're the best. Thank you so much, Nazi, I appreciate that. Sandeep says, sir, I didn't get my social security number. How long time wait? Well, the Social Security office is backed up, you know, because COVID-19, things are a mess. So what you have to do is call them and see what you can do to get that order. That's the best thing I can think of, is just call them and see what's happening until their office is fully open up. Maybe if you could schedule it in person, if they're doing that, might be the way to go. Eastham says, since my appointment was canceled due to COVID-19, do you think I'll get another appointment soon? You know, you gotta think about the question you're asking. You're saying, will I get another appointment soon? What is soon? Maybe for me, because immigration lawyer, I have to wait years sometimes for cases. Next year may be soon for me. So it's like, you'll get it when you get it. You know, I know you're anxious. I know you really want it to happen, but I can't. It's not. I'm not the person to ask. You know, and nobody's going to answer that question. USCIS can't answer that question. They'll get to you when they get to you. Hari says, OPT student work from home. I don't know. You just have to talk to your school to see what's going on with that. The whole COVID-19 and forcible work from home, or not even go to school, you know, study from home and all that kind of stuff. This is all new stuff that's happening. We don't have the exact answers on all this stuff. And OPT, to be frank, usually people on OPT, these are student visa holders, don't hire attorneys. And so it's not something that I know off the top of my head to go jump on it, because it's not something I had to study on a regular basis. But yeah, first of all, talk to your school and see what they're saying. Or maybe consult an attorney. If we wanted to do it, I just spend some time researching your particular question to be answer it. If you've seen the questions I've been answering, these are things I deal with every day, so I know these answers like this. But for OPT and work from home because of the COVID situation, this is all new. I have to research what's happening. Probably my gut instinct from what I remember is you can't do that. but I'm not sure if there's an exception for COVID. So I have to check out the ICE records and CVIS to see if they issued an update that permitted it. I don't have any cases that require me to do this research, so it's not something that's top of my head, but that required me to go check the system and talk to some schools and talk to some DSOs I know and spend some time getting the best information so I can answer you, but it's not something I deal with on a day-to-day basis, so it's not something to help you. I am going to be talking with a USC school, University of Southern California, I think this Sunday, having a conference with all their students and talk about the student visa process. I'm sure that question will probably come up, and I'll have to give them the same answer potentially. I may research it and get back to them, but yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm not sure you guys could join. It's like a USC kind of thing, but that's gonna be fun helping a lot of students there. I'll see if I get the recording output on YouTube. That'd be fun too. AK asks another question. Will the public charge affect me if my family is getting benefit from the state, but not me who is a sponsor? I don't know. I got to see what family member they are, what the relationship is with you, what kind of benefit they're getting. AKA, it seems like you really need to have a lawyer to talk with because your questions are getting way too specific and not something we ask in a general forum like this, but without reviewing the documents. So you need to ask, hi, is USCIS doing interviews now? I'm waiting for citizenship interview. Yeah, you probably missed it. You came in right now. One of my clients had their interview this morning at 6:45 a.m., got approved, and had their oath ceremony at 9:30 a.m., came in and sent me their naturalization certificate. Very happy. They had 10 people in a group immediately getting naturalized right there. It just depends on how busy they are to get to you. Ali says, is the name of your website JK Law Firm? Is JQK, not JKK. The middle initial is, oh, YouTube's such a mess. JQK, like Jack, Queen, King. JQK Law Firm, that's my law firm. Looking back, I would have had a different name because every time I say JQK, people think it's JKK when I say it over the phone and stuff like that. I didn't think about that when I named my firm, which is my initials. But you live and learn. I probably would have done something simple like, I have another firm called the Marriage Immigration Law Firm. That's much easier. marriageimmigrationlaw.com/ebook if you go there. But JQK Law Firm, a little hard. Big Money says 2020, this is my year. God bless. Sonia says, thank you, you're welcome. Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, for all your great questions. As a reminder, the Ultimate Marriage Green Card ebook is available free at marriageimmigrationlaw.com/ebook. I spent a lot of time going through this. I think it's one of the best ebooks out there. That's why I named it the Ultimate ebook. You bet it really is. I'm really proud of it. I think it's the best one because most people who do these ebooks is a 2-page ebook that has no information. Trust me, I go and download those so I learn what other people are doing so I could do like their kind of stuff and learn from their marketing. And they all suck. And I hate to say this to my colleagues, but I really spent time into this to really make a full ebook that really breaks things down. Now, it can't break down every single situation. That'd be a 1,000-page book, but it really gives you understanding of the marriage green card process and frankly any family-based process too, because other than little small aspects for a marriage case, the rest of it is the same kind of case. And so just download that, get it, study it, learn the nuances, and then it'll help you. So if you do get a lawyer especially, you'll know what they're talking about and you'll know how to judge whether that person is a good lawyer. And if you haven't, go to youtube.com, JQK Law Firm, and just put JK Law Firm and follow everything on social media. We constantly have information and stuff. I have a newsletter you can connect with, all that kind of stuff, and reach out. And with that, we got one last question. Bruin88 says, hey Bruin, when did you graduate from UCLA? I graduated from UCLA in 2006. In 2006, I studied political science at UCLA. You say Bruin 88, I'm guessing you graduated in 88. We got some years apart, but but thank you so much. All right, everybody. Ali says, I'm about to give you a good review. Thank you, Ali. Thank you so much. Sandeep, thank you as well. I guess with that, everybody, I really appreciate it. What a great group of people today. It was really cool. Yesterday was really good. Today was really good questions. I get so energetic when I do it. Bruin88 says, no, 2000. Oh, okay, I was still in high school in 2000, but I got a couple years later, 2006, caught up with you at UCLA. Good to hear from fellow Bruin. I do some stuff at UCLA. I go to speak there once in a while at the International Institute once a year, where I talk to a lot of international students and just the International Institute itself. I'm a regular there on the panel. So if you're ever at the International Institute gala they have every year, I'm usually one of the panel speakers that talks about my work in the international law field. All right, everybody, God bless, be safe. Good to see you all again. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.